Channel 10 will celebrate its 27th birthday in 1980 and its first anniversary as a member of the Broadcast Enterprises National Group. It is also just a year since we moved into this new building, whose circular staircase won the Craftsmanship Award from the Rochester Builders Exchange. 80 people work here at a variety of tasks that are vital to the sophisticated, complex business of a modern television station. Some of these jobs you know about because you see them being performed on the TV screen every day. But others, just as important, are not so well known, and we thought you might like to learn a little about them and about how this station operates. WHEC-TV has 5 major departments: general and administrative, sales, program, technical, and news. Overall managerial responsibility is in the hands of Channel 10's president and general manager, Jack Decker. The other company officers working here every day are Steve Cronquist, vice president for marketing, and Leo Wesley, treasurer and controller, a post he has held since 1954. Cronquist, who joined the station 22 years ago, heads up the sales department, which has a staff of 9. Steve handles national sales, which puts him in touch regularly with our national reps, the Katz Company, through whom all our national advertising flows. Dion Michel is in charge of local sales, and he has 5 other salesmen and women working for him. Handling sales traffic is Dorothy Sherwood, who has been with the company 26 years. Mrs. Sherwood is also data processing coordinator. All sales orders and program changes are made by computer using the facilities of Broadcast Industry Automated System. WHEC-TV was one of the pioneers in this system, coming online 7 years ago. Now there are 300 stations in the BIAS network. The operations department, headed by Sharon Sheridan, receives instructions on materials for commercials and promotions, processes that material, and then puts it into computer language so that it may be entered into the daily logs. These logs list the station's programs and other on-air business minute by minute throughout the 20 hours we broadcast each day. Some of the commercials are made in our own studios, and the scheduling and coordination of that work are the responsibility of production manager Mark Rand. He deals with advertising agencies, public service groups, and of course various departments within the framework of Channel 10, all of which need studio and technical time. Skip Huff, who has been with the company for 20 years, heads the technical department. Incidentally, he was project director for construction of this new building and is also a licensed pilot who has flown for the news department on faraway assignments. Huff has 20 people in his department, including Chief Engineer Jerry Evans and Assistant Chief Engineer Bob Erskine, each of them with more than 25 years in the broadcasting business. These people operate and maintain all of WHEC-TV's electronic equipment here and at the transmitter on Pinnacle Hill. The Technical Operations Center is the main control room, the workplace of such people as Larry Nielsen, who started with the station back in 1952 when it was only radio. Nielsen's tasks are many. From this main switcher, he puts on the air all the station's programming, from local originations to network broadcasts, commercials, and other spot announcements. He is a busy and highly skilled man, working with film, slides, videotapes, audio cassettes, and live material emanating from our studio or from our remote microwave equipment in the field. The latter is something we call the Live Eye. It is the only one of its kind in the Rochester market and has been for the past 3 years, although one of our competitors is now getting its version ready. The Live Eye is a mobile microwave transmitter which permits us to broadcast live from almost any location within a radius of about 15 miles from the studio.
Wednesday, January 30th, news unfolds before your eyes. The jury in the federal bombing trial brings in the verdict, and TV10 News is there, live. A defendant is stricken and wheeled to a waiting ambulance, live. Even when the newscast was over, we weren't through. 2 special live reports brought you the defense attorney's reactions.
Upset. What can I tell you?
Yes, absolutely. An appeal will be forthcoming.
TV10 News. We had it live.
The Live Eye was part of the conversion to all electronic news gathering by the TV10 News Department begun almost 4 years ago. The station was the first in this part of the country to go all ENG, and it has made a big difference in the way the news is covered, how it looks on the air, and the cost of the news operation. Chief photographer Phil Smith has compiled figures showing that because of the enormous increases in the cost of film and processing chemicals, the investment in electronic equipment was amortized in 3 years rather than the projected 4. Videotape can be put together in ways that cannot be duplicated with film except in a costly, time-consuming laboratory. And this has meant that news stories produced locally can have the same graphic polish and sparkle that once were reserved for network news.
Eastman's Kodak, a story seldom told from George Eastman's point of view. I'm David Nolan. For the past 5 months, TV10 photographer Phil Smith and I have been piecing together Eastman's intriguing story. Rare footage of the man, revealing interviews with the few remaining people who actually knew him. It's a fascinating new understanding of one of the world's renowned companies. Eastman's Kodak, a 12-part news special this week on TV10.
This is it, TV10.
Next week on TV10, an explicit news special, Beauty You Can Buy, plastic surgery, life-saving medical miracle, or face-saving indulgence of a society that worships physical perfection. I'm Andrea Nissen. Photographer George Hill and I tell of Rochester residents who've gone under the surgeon's knife to either correct shattered bodies or to seek the proverbial fountain of youth. Beauty You Can Buy, next Monday through Saturday at 6 and 11 on TV10.
This is it, TV10.
The news department at WHEC-TV, with 31 employees, is the station's largest. There are 10 men and women on the photographic editing staff. We have 11 reporters and anchors, and incidentally, all of our anchor people also work in the field. Gabe Dalmuth, who co-anchors the early news, is also our news producer. John Winthrop is assignment editor, the person who gives the reporters and photographers the stories they do each day. We have a full-time investigative reporter, Wadi Sawabini, who joined us just a month ago. And we have a full-time weather analyst, David Eichhorn, whose forecasts are prepared in this meteorological laboratory, the only one of its kind in the area outside that of the U.S. Weather Bureau station. There are 3 directors on our staff, all of whom direct news programs. Directors such as Terry Brookins are the people who give the studio cameramen and other members of the technical crew the cues and directions necessary to get programs on the air.
Ready, 5, engage, Mike. Dissolve, Mike. Stand by to roll, Baker. Preset, Baker. Roll, Baker. Ready, Baker, and ready to track. Track up. Take it.
Newsroom secretary is Peggy Mayer, who, while she has one ear to the telephone, cocks the other to 5 police, fire, and emergency vehicle radios that blare away incessantly. My name is Warren Doremus, and as news director, I have managerial responsibility for this department, with which I've been associated as reporter, producer, or director the past 34 years. One of the ways a news staff's achievements can be measured is by the recognition it receives from its peers. TV10 News has often been judged.
Time after time, year after year, TV10 News is honored for doing what comes naturally. Awards for writing and photography, for excellence of reporting, expertise in editing, from commentaries to documentaries, from spot news coverage to the state's best daily news program, TV10 News has been recognized as the leader. In the last decade, 41 such awards. TV10 News, we're most honored.
Accolades have flowed to many at Channel 10, including morning show host Eddie Meath, who has conducted a penny fund drive for toys for children in hospitals for the past 17 years. Through his efforts, 200,000 toys have been distributed to sick youngsters. The producer of the morning show is Dorothy Cotton, whose career with WHEC goes back to 1954. Ms. Cotton, a member of the National Board of American Women in Radio and Television, also teaches at RIT School of Retailing. She was the first woman to receive the Lantern Award for public service from the local Advertising Council. Bill Carroll is Channel 10's program director. It's a big job, scheduling programs, program changes, and responding to the hundreds of calls and letters that come in each year from the public about the things they liked and didn't like. One of Carroll's major concerns is children's programming. He has done a number of things about that.
Hello, I'm Bilgi Urla.
And I'm Ed Burnaby.
We are TV10 Kids World News correspondents here in Rochester.
Today's show will have a special emphasis on kids involved with sports. Our first report by Linda Mix tells about Grand National Quarter Midget Racers from St. Paul, Minnesota.
In quarter midget racing, the cars may be small, but the thrills are big.
There are many people behind the scenes at Channel 10, such as Service Coordinator Barbara Conti, whose responsibilities include promotion, public service announcements, and screening commercials to be sure they meet our standards. The man who prepares the payroll, Business Manager Bob Yeager. The lady who hands out the payroll checks, the President's Secretary Ruth Paul, who has been with us for 27 years. And Winnie DeLaura, the first person the public meets when calling on WHEC TV.
Good afternoon, TV10.
Yes, this is WHEC TV, Channel 10 in Rochester.
This is it, TV10.